You know, I've sat here today and I've heard some pretty interesting things and stuff that we hear every week, or every other week. I know you guys hear it every other week. But I want to ask a question. It's a simple question. Just bear with me for the analogy. Any of you guys ever put money in a bank? Everybody use a bank? You still use a mattress? Everybody use a bank? We'll assume you use a bank. If the bank that you use gets robbed, people pull up to the side, jump out of their cars with weapons, and they take the money from the bank. Does the bank make you pay that money back? I wouldn't think so. If they did, I would switch banks. Problem in the analogy lies in that now the citizens of Memphis, or the workers for the city of Memphis, have been depositing their money and their time and their lives into the so-called bank. Through not paying into the pension, now you guys are stuck with it. The citizens of Memphis who work here are going up on their health care premiums 24%. The retirees, the one that was just absolutely, we can't change it, this is going to be all it is. Now they're going to be responsible for 100% of their coverage. But magically, a new plan came out pretty quick from the city after the fire union proposed theirs, because I know next year's a re-election year. Seems kind of stupid. We're not that stupid. I know people think citizens are that stupid, or otherwise you wouldn't try to get away with some of the ridiculous stuff that goes on. But, continuing with the story. So now the pension has to be fully funded. It has to be paid back. So there's a 24% increase in health care. Retirees are going to be responsible for their own. Seems to me like you guys are the bank robbers in the story. We didn't choose not to fund the pension. We paid our part. It's cheaper than Social Security. If you guys ran a mom and pop shop in the middle of somewhere that sold washers for a living, you'd have to pay 6.25% into Social Security. You're getting 0.25% cut paying into the pension. It's always been solvent. The pension is not the problem. Problem is the bank robbers who pull up next to the city's employees, rob from them, and say, hey, guess what? We're in a shortfall. We can no longer be a solvent bank. So guess what? You have to put more money in now to replace what got stolen. Really? Is that jiving with anybody? I see a lot of sleepy eyes. And is anybody hearing what I'm saying? Really? Can you guys hear me? I mean, seriously, it's just stupid. You would not. If you called up AT&T right now and said, hey, I need a new cable box. Lightning fried mine. And they showed up with a new cable box and said, well, that'd be $85. What? You're going to charge me? It was lightning. I've been with you for 20 years. You would not be willing to pay $80 for a new box from AT&T because you've been a good customer. Well, I assure you, there are a lot of good employees. There are employees that retire with years of sick time in the books that they give back. They didn't get it given to them. They freaking earned it. And they give it back as to not misuse what they have. And now they're not worth being considered. Now they're not worth, well, wait a second. I know what happened was we asked the citizens to help us, and they couldn't. We're not supposed to. You guys don't help me take 911 calls. You come down there and sit with me if you want to. Come down there and have a seat. Take one. I hope you get one that involves a 2-month-old that's dead in the crib from SIVs, and you have to try to talk his mother into not freaking out and having a heart attack before the ambulance can get there. I mean, seriously, put it in your head. If somebody walked up to you right now and they stole your wallet, then they came back to you and said later, hey, man, your wallet is it's kind of wore out. I'm going to need a new one from you. Would that go over well? Am I talking just to hear myself talk? Really? These are lessons that you have to be able to understand to get out of kindergarten. And somehow they're lost on you guys. It is not right. So here we go. What's the problem? Or how do we fix it? You're telling us the problems. Well, we want solutions. Well, okay, the first solution would be to elect people that could handle the city's problems. We're working on it. The second solution would be, if you really legitimately want help from the citizens, don't put a proposed budget online that's missing half the line items that's in the copy of the budget that you have, so you can shoot down every proposal that comes by your desk. You guys want to come with me to Horton Gardens and play 5-card poker and put aces in your sleeve? Bet it don't go over well. But that's what you're doing. And I understand you hadn't had anybody in a long time playing goalie. You know, when you guys get out of play to kick you back into line because you've had pretty much carte blanche on your political agendas out here. The citizens haven't cared in a long time. But I tell you what, you'll get sick of me. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm loud. Even after all this is over. I was so furious earlier that we were having the, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th meeting on people not being able to park at their own house. That's stupid too. If somebody was pissing in your yard, you would call the cops on them and you would have something done about it that day. But really, this guy's got a nice restaurant that costs you $200 a night to go eat at, and the people can't valet park. They have to park in these people's yards. That's not business minded. That's wanting to help the business. Are you wanting to help them so much that you kill the people going to them? That restaurant's going to look real cute sitting over there with a bunch of retirees walking around it who can't afford 2 prescriptions a month on the 10 that they need, and they're standing outside begging for the leftovers instead of booking a table. It's not going to work. I was also told, after the union presented its budget, it's a good plan. Mike Lee made a great point. That wasn't a $23 million in savings on the other budget. It was actually an additional $23 million that we found. So you're at $46 million now that we managed to find between, these silly little citizens you guys work for. You guys didn't find it. Matter of fact, pretty much all the representatives or all the council people that we spoke to this week, there's been a couple. I'm not going to put any names out there because I like them. When we asked them about the budget, they're like, well, no, I really haven't looked at it all. Really? Come on, man. You guys run a business like this if you owned it? I know y'all's LLCs probably work pretty good. They probably are really solvent. You wouldn't do your business like this, man. You wouldn't do it. And I don't know why I have to get up here every week and ask for you guys to quit doing it to us. We know you guys didn't personally underfund the pension. Fine. I'm sorry you guys got dealt that. I didn't run for your seat. You don't want to take 911 calls. But when I don't do my job, I have actual disciplinary actions that I get affected with. You guys don't seem to have any. Seems kind of cool to me. I mean, you don't get reelected. How many of you are up for reelection? 2 can run again? 3? Everybody's term limits are coming up? You could do the right thing. You could. And I heard something pretty interesting earlier. I'll try to get this in the next minute and a half. I loved it. It was great. That the MLG&W vote on the budget was done for political maneuvering, and it was really rushed. Sounds like our budget. Sounds like it wasn't on the agenda on the night it was voted on, but once there was the mass exodus of people when they found out, somebody said, wait. Hey, I motion we put it on the agenda real quick. Oh, I second it. Vote it in. 3 people had read it. Pretty stupid. On a good day, it's stupid. The last thing I heard was that the MOU for the electrical workers need to be considered. MOU is still a document. I almost forgot we had one. They seem to be able to want to pick and choose the parts of the firefighters MOU that that you guys want to actually stick to. It's pretty crappy too. The last thing that was said was genius, and I'm glad it was said. It said that you guys, I heard it said, he has, and I know it extends to the whole council, the power of subpoena. Oh, good God. I've been waiting on this the whole time. If you guys are tired of me fussing at you and yelling at you every week, do something about it. Subpoena Wharton and get him down here. I got something I'd really like to say to him since he doesn't like to be down here and have to answer for the decisions he made. I know he gave you guys the budget. You didn't come up with it. I know it was him that did it, his administration, his people. So if you want to pass the buck along to the people who have it coming, go ahead and subpoena him. What's he going to do? Take your insurance?